how is it that these people in the NAR, the New Apostolic Reformation, how is it that they are going into heaven, into the throne room, talking with the Father, talking with Jesus, talking with Paul and the other apostles? What is going on there? Is this really happening? Some years ago, I began doing research on Santeria, a very large religion that was based in West Africa and was transported to the Caribbean by the slave traders, and it spread all through the Caribbean and is in many of the large cities in America. Santeria, the worship of the Orisha gods. That's a long story. It's a big deal because, for example, in Brazil, there are some 180 million worshipers. It's either called candomblé or macumba, but it's large, it's everywhere. And then I was researching Wicca, where I live in Marin County. Huge numbers of people engaged in Wiccan witchcraft practices, far more than the Christian population. From that, I was led to a study of shamanism that goes back to Siberia some 10,000 years ago, and is a religion that dominates most of the world's religions. All of the American Indian tribes are shamanistic in nature. But then I expanded my research into charisma. The name of the book is The Soul Journey, how shamanism, Santeria, Wicca, and charisma are connected. In charisma, you have two branches. On one side, you have contemplative prayer, the mystical sort of thing, St. John of the Cross, St. Teresa of Avila, and on, through various deep prayer, through meditation, through chanting, ecstatic states, altered states of consciousness are reached, and people have the sense that they have come in contact with the spirit world, even God himself and angels particularly. On the other side, you have things like Sozo ministry, S-O-Z-O ministry out of Bethel Church in Reading. You have the other mechanisms, the soaking prayer, where you go into deep worship and you get to a place of being in another passive state of mind, where your mind is not in control. You are in a different sphere, and what happens is you are vulnerable to demonic influence. Now, this is sought by the Santerians, it's sought by the shamans, it's sought by the Wiccans. There you find your power guides, your spirit guides, power animals. You talk to your angels. You might enter into the throne room, like Rick Joyner did, like Kat Carr does. Well, what is the connecting link between shamanism, Santeria, Wicca, and these forms of charisma? That is the passive state of mind, and it opens one up to the demonic influence, to demonic spirits, evil spirits that are able to disguise themselves as angels, as apostles of righteousness. That's what Paul talked about in 2 Corinthians 11. Satan is able to disguise himself in that way. And the experience is dramatic. I've talked to many Wiccans, people involved in shamanistic practice. I pastored Miller Avenue Baptist Church in Mill Valley. They had the Shamanistic Institute in America is in Mill Valley, established by Michael Harner, the former ethnologist, who converted to shamanism in the study of shamanism. I'm familiar with it. And you are convinced, because you are in a spirit world, it's real, it's not imaginary, you're there, and you are being contacted by spirits and beings, even disguising themselves as deity, as the Father, or God the Son. So there it is, and it is no wonder that people like Rick Joyner and Kat Carr and others would be so convinced and are so convincing, because the people can learn how to go into these deep meditative, deep worship, deep prayer states, which are no prayer at all, because biblical prayer is conscious, mind-focused, and not like the shamanistic mechanisms that are employed here, that are looked upon as superior, not superior, dangerous, and demonic. I appeal to you, ask for yourself. Do some research. If you go to Amazon.com, and I'm not doing this to sell my book, it's sold enough copies, I don't have to worry about it, but The Soul Journey, type Kent Philpott into an Amazon search, and you'll find it. And you'll read about the same mechanisms in all of these world religions. So long.